Hi, this is Bazi from Meslova. In previous session, we discussed about how the peripheral nervous system is divided and how it involves in the voluntary and involuntary activities of our body, and its divisions like somatic nervous system, which involved in the voluntary functions, and autonomic nervous system, which involved in the involuntary functions by sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, and together coordinate with each other in balancing of entire vital functions of our body. Now we have to understand about another brain that present in our belly, that is brain in the belly, and overall structure of our nervous system, and also the mysterious chemicals present in our body which carry the information from one part of the body to the another part. In recent years, scientists find an interesting fact that we have two brains instead of one, that is brain in the belly, that is gut brain. Other than the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, we call it as enteric nervous system, that is brain in the belly. And this brain lies under the mucosal layer of esophagus, stomach and intestine. It forms the total bunch of network of neurons and billions of neurons, which is underlaying of the mucosal layer of the alimentary canal. This enteric nervous system is much complicated in nerves, neurons and neurochemicals, because the gut brain contains more than 100 million neurons, which is much more neurons present in the spinal cord. Yes, we have talking about the potentially untapped intelligence within our gut. Researchers observed that the great neural traffic was observed between the from enteric nervous system to the head brain instead of head brain to the enteric nervous system. Rather than the head informing the digestive system takes decision itself to carry its vital function. Another discovery is that the entire digestive tract is lined by specialized cells, and these cells produce and receive chemicals like enkephalins and endorphins, and which produces a special type of sensation and which carries the feeling of pain, relief, satisfaction and hunger. It controls the real life psychophysical sensation in our body. Do you notice your gut sensation? How many times you hear about your gut and how it feels? Your gut brain says your body is hunger. The enteric nervous system has its own kind of intelligence than your central nervous system or head brain to interact with you. Listen to your gut and its sensation and its curious feelings and instincts and intervisions. It is an amazing connections of network of neurons which inform you everything. So we understand the brain that takes its own decision, that is brain in the belly, which carry its vital functions. Especially it creates various types of feeling, that is appetite in our body, and how what to eat and what not to eat, everything, and how we have to feel to the outside of the environment. And all these things are controlled by especially a potentially tapped intelligence which is present within our alimentary canal, that is brain in the belly. It is another discovery. By all this observation, we develop a basic idea of our nervous system which coordinates and controls all the functions of our body, and also responds and adapts to various types of conditions inside and outside of our body. In brief, have a look on overall structure of nervous system, which includes the central nervous system, that is brain and spinal cord, and peripheral nervous system, that is somatic and autonomic nervous system. Already we know that the central nervous system includes the brain and the spinal cord. The brain lies in the skull. It has 6 parts: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, the diencephalon, pons and medulla oblongata. The other half of the central nervous system is the spinal cord. It has 4 regions or 4 parts. It is the link between the brain and other nerves. The spinal cord is divided into 4 regions: the cervical region, the thoracic region and the lumbar region, and the efferent and efferent nerves, which forms the peripheral nervous system. The another nervous system, that is peripheral nervous system, which forms the outside of the brain and spinal cord. And this peripheral nervous system is having 2 divisions: sensory division and motor division. The motor division is further divided into somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. The somatic nervous system, which controls all the voluntary or consciously involved activities of our body, and the autonomic nervous system, which includes sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, which work opposite in direction to control the involuntary functions in our body, and the ganglia from which both type of sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves are formed. This is one of the important system of our body which responds immediately within a fraction of seconds with its bunch of wiring system, that is nervous system, which coordinates and controls almost all the vital functions, including voluntary and involuntary activities in our body. You know, the brain is the most powerful evolved organ on this planet. Our brain is the most powerful and fastest organ on this planet and also in our body. It comprising 60% of fat and approximately weighs about 1400 grams and takes 2% of total mass of our body weight. It contains more than 100 billion neurons that can send information at speed up to 270 miles per hour. Brain doesn't have any pain. On an average, brain has 70,000 thoughts per day. The brain consumes 20% of energy of our whole body. Till now we understand the responses to stimuli, which is influenced by the bunch of network system, that is nervous system, and its way of communication and classification. Other than the nervous system, the communication in our body also carried with a special type of wireless network system, which secretes at one place and influences the whole body. It's a miraculous way of communication. It is by endocrine system. This system is responding very slowly and its communication is very fast. Important information is communicated from one part of the body to another part by this system, that is endocrine system. Maximum emotions of our brain and body is controlled by these ductless glands, which are present in various parts of our body, secretes a special type of chemicals called as hormones, which directly secreted into the bloodstream to communicate the information within the body. You know how these hormones are discovered? It's an interesting story. In 1868, Paul Langerhans, he is a professor at Freiburg University in Germany. He worked on the functions of pancreas, and also he finds certain patches on the surface of pancreas, and later these patches are named as islets of Langerhans because the Langerhans find these patches on pancreas. But the function of those patches are remained unknown in those days. Many other scientists also experimenting and conducting various researches on those islets of pancreas, but the function was remained unknown. In 1903, two British scientists, one is William Bayliss, another one is Ernest Starling, investigating the process of digestion in animals. From their studies, they determined the body produces digestive juices to break down food once it moves from stomach to intestine. But what causes the digestive juices to flow? To find out, they conducted an experiment. They took blood sample from a dog that had just eaten a meal. They injected that blood into stomach of another dog, this one with an empty stomach. Then something happens. The second dog secretes digestive juices from an organ called the pancreas. After more testings and experiments, they find their answer. As food reaches the small intestine, the intestine produces chemical substances which is then carried through the bloodstream to the pancreas. Here it stimulates the pancreas to produce secretions that help digest the food. They call this chemical secretin. Then they find new group of chemicals secreted by certain organs in our body. More than 50 hormones are discovered in our body. Later, the Starling in 1905 called it as the hormone. Hormones that are produced by our glands and they are secreting at one place and carried through bloodstream to a whole body to control and coordinate our vital functions within the body. These are mysterious set of chemicals that flow through every part of our body. They can rule our lives and shape our destiny. They turn children into adult. They govern our appetite. They even affect our passions. They are called hormones. They are fundamentals that who making us who we are. Till now, we understand the structure of nervous system, that is brain in the belly, that is enteric nervous system, and overall structure of our nervous system in brief, that is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, and also introduction to hormone and story of hormones and how it was discovered and how it is important in the carrying of vital functions of our body. And in next session we will meet and discuss about the story of insulin, which is influencing all the world today, and also various types of hormones secreted by various types of glands in our body and how they are helping the coordination and control of all the vital functions in our body. Until then, bye bye, see you soon. Thank you.